A lot of discussion lately about the now global food price increase on the back of the worst drought in the United States in 50 years. Corn prices at a record high. What stood out to me in the Financial Times today, an op-ed from the Director General of the Agriculture and Food Organization at the United Nations calling on the United States to do something, take a policy against this to prevent a global food crisis. He says the U.S. drought leaves global markets vulnerable to further supply-side shocks. Much of the reduced crop, and he's talking about corn here, will be claimed by biofuel production in line with U.S. federal mandates, leaving less for food and feed markets. The bottom line is the policy. Ethanol, right? Ethanol, yeah, policy. And a lot of the corn, the reduced corn crop would go to that because of some of the legislation.
You got a chart on this, right?
And of course, this is a big topic as we head into the election as well. Yeah, global food prices are on the rise.
Yeah, here's the UN food prices, UN World Food Price Index. And that yellow line is where we were in 2008 in the uproar there. You remember most seriously, wheat in Tunisia is a catalyst for the Arab Spring. Up we go, we come back down, and you can see that recent leg up, something to get your attention on a global basis, not just about McDonald's.
People outside of the United States are just bewildered that we grow crops that then gets put into fuel to run our cars. It's a head scratcher for them.
And that's why the UN is calling on the U.S. to do something about it with the limited supply.
It defies common sense for a lot of people.
It's an election year, UN.
Now, on the heels of a disappointing economic data dump out of China and also recent slowing sales growth for luxury brands, especially in the emerging markets, My Morning Must Read asks, who are tomorrow's consumers? The real problem is that analysts have exaggerated the size of the luxury goods segment in the emerging market. So Sanjeev Sanyal of Deutsche Bank writes, developed countries like the U.S., like Japan, still dominate the income bracket that can afford luxury goods. The explosive growth recorded in emerging markets reflected entry into previously untapped market, with the subsequent slowdown resulting from saturation. The number of high-income households is still growing, just not at the same pace. So it's a cautionary tale to not rely too much on the Chinas, the Indias, and the Brazils of the world, because you're not going to get that same kind of pop year after year. That was a one-time thing. You're going to be looking at selling to the emerging middle class of those countries.